Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Good to see you. I have been gone for several days. I am John Halcyon-Stin. This is the Hug Nation Love Morning broadcasts. What a treat to be back home. Oh my gosh, I'm so out of sorts. My door is open. You can barely see Grandpa's face. My light is off. There we go. Ooh. Now we're good. Maybe I can move this plant a little bit. There we go. All right. Woo. What are you grateful for? Would love to hear. And to keep with tradition, I'll start with a song. It's usually pretty short, not very long. But it's filled with stuff that I'm grateful for. We pack the room and we push against the door with things that make us happy and things that we reframe that are sad and things that sometimes make us angry. We tweak them until we're glad. Oh, it's love morning. Love morning today. Oh, it's love morning. Can't wait to hear what you say. Good morning. What are you grateful for? I was away at a retreat this weekend, led by my beloved. Man, am I in love with that woman. She is so inspiring to me. And I continue to meet and get to know people through her that are so inspiring, to the point that it can be unsettling. So I am grateful for inspiring people and being unsettled. I'll explain a little bit more. I was privy to a number of people this weekend whose discipline and dedication to their practices in their life, whether that be their business, their work towards traditional financial success, but more importantly, and often overlapped, is their discipline around their spiritual health practices. You know, whether it's meditation or cutting things out of their life that they know to be unhealthy, whether it's dealing with addictions or food things, unhealthy practices of all sorts, and the discipline and dedication. I was talking with somebody who wakes up every morning at 4 a.m. and meditates for 2 hours. Every morning. They wake up at 4 in the morning, meditate for 2 hours, and then I think they exercise, and they basically start their day at 7 after self-care and spiritual practices from 4 o'clock every day. And they have a presence and a calm to them, and it's super inspiring. And I felt so uncomfortable because, like, everything they said, I was like, this makes sense. I can tell you're telling the truth. I can tell what you are explaining is true. And I don't want it to be true. Because part of that, and this actually happened through several people, was understanding that if you want to access the levels of spiritual understanding that is available to anyone, the ones that the mystics and the ascetics and the people who put themselves through all sorts of mountaintop cave experiences or whatever, if you want that, there's a ticket to ride. And to purchase a ticket, you have to do something, whether that is truly learn to be and hold the suffering of the world without being dragged into it, whether that is being able to still your mind so that you can find yourself free from ego, which these are accessible to us, but they require very extreme dedication to spiritual practices and being able to remove and let go of the things that do not serve us. And as someone who enjoys my sugar, as someone who enjoys my coffee, as someone who enjoys my streaming television, it's hard to really hear, witness, watch, see, and grok that evolution will require a level of effort that I am at this stage uninspired or lack the drive to put into practice yet, but maybe just being unsettled is the first step towards it. I should say, I woke up this morning and went to the gym for the second time in 5 years. So, who knows? But I'm grateful, so grateful for the exposure to inspiring people. Sometimes there was times in my life when, I felt like I was peers with as the evolved people as I knew. And so to meet and see and talk to people who are more evolved than me, it's, and by that I don't mean they're like more spiritual. They're funny and witty and enjoy their lives. But they are tuned into a higher frequency and accessing a more clean peace consistently. Just being aware of that is, I think, something to be grateful for. Good morning, Gerbot. Yeah, 4 a.m. Gerbot says, or heroic doses. And we talked about that. And that is absolutely a shortcut. Because of heroic doses, you don't have to spend 10 years in a cave. But the heroic doses give you the shortcut. You still have to integrate the lessons and the learnings with discipline into a human experience. You can see the mountaintop, but if you're going to live on the mountaintop, you got to do the work. And I guess I don't know that many people that are actually putting in that level of work, whether that being a monk or a 4 a.m. type dedication. But I talked to several people this weekend who have practices that are at a level that, most of us just don't consider to be realistic. But if you think about I have one life, what do I really want out of this life? Do I want to achieve the highest level of spiritual liberation possible? Which is a good question. I'm not saying the answer is not, of course. The answer could be, I want enough spiritual liberation that I can enjoy this life. I don't want to be constantly striving. That's a whole nother type of suffering. Part of this gratitude practice is letting go of that not enoughness, whether that be spiritual or financial or health or whatever it is. I desire that, but I do not expect it. I am not caught up in the wheel of desire. I'm content. I'm grateful. And then, so I guess it's a balance of both. Ram Dass is really great at talking about being, if you read Be Here Now, and he talks about his practices of extreme, asceticism and, eating one bowl of rice a day and sleeping on stone floors and for years and getting into a kind of a spiritual, holier than thou, ego-based headspace, even though he's on one hand super spiritual, But on the other hand, caught in just a different cycle of desire. This is what's alive in the old duder's head after an awesome weekend. Michael, good morning. Michael says, I'm grateful for spontaneous singing, intuitive interactions, and deeper listeners. Oh, what a good list. Thank you, Michael. Janet, good morning. Janet is grateful for the sprinkling of rain on my head while I sit outside this morning. Ooh, nice. It's nice and overcast here. Good morning, high noon. Good morning, afternoon, evening, y'all. Much love to you. Tara says, you are on a roll. Keep going. Well, hello, Tara. Not sure if you had any experiences like that, but there are people among us that are just, I mean, you among them. But there's a few other people I talked to where I was like, holy crap-a-moly. This is, I don't know anyone that is so dedicated. But now I do. Givat says, you found a deeper pond. And also that heroic doses are not sustainable. Yeah, you found a deeper pond. I think that's true. I think that's and I think that's, part of life and growth that people talk about, at some level that you maybe don't resonate as much with the surroundings that you've been in. Or if you want to elevate, you have to surround yourself with more elevated vibrations. And so I'm in that like scared state of, what does that mean? Like, do I really want that? Like, I can look at my life and go like, there are things that I'm not super proud of. Like I said, dietary things and the way I check out with media and screens. What would it mean to remove all the things from my habits and behaviors that I am not proud of and add practices that I know from, many traditions and practices that would be beneficial. I almost woke up last night and meditated at 4 a.m. That's her plan, I think. And I said that I would try to join her. This person that told us that when they started, it was 15 minutes, and you can go back to sleep afterwards if you want. If you get up at 4 a.m., you can meditate for 50 minutes, then go back to sleep. And then you keep growing and eventually stay up. Vesper, good morning. Just got back from ISTA, level 1. Level 1, part 2, I was going to say. I have a level of clarity regarding the next steps in my healing journey. My heart can't shine to its fullest potential because of the black hole that exists in my solar plexus. I cannot exercise this darkness by circling it or trying to poke at it or from the outside. I need to jump in and let it consume me, as is its nature. So I've been researching ayahuasca and San Pedro retreats in Peru coming next spring. Let's get on the phone. Let's schedule a call. Heinun saying that 1 minute turns to 5 minutes to 10,000 hours, 1 moment at a time. Well, you said. Well said. Michael is grateful for his brother, who reminds me how much easier life is when I'm grateful. John! Comparison seems to be the recipe of suffering. The separate self always wants to judge itself. You are awesome, my brother. That's a really good point, John. And I think there's the good kind of figuring out, like, am I judging myself in comparison, or am I recognizing that if there are things that I am unsatisfied with, can other people's paths inspire me to make changes? Oh, my hand motions, I think made, it's weird what, like, I think, does this do something? Yep. What a weird. But yeah, that's a good reminder to not get caught in comparison and more just being inspired, or recognizing if there is discontent, is there a path to minimize, reduce, or eliminate that? Good to see you, John. High Noon says, I am on a daily dose of 45 minutes of meditation and I find it harder some moments or days. However, being in this daily practice of gratitude brings the joy of the meditation. Oh, I love that. Tara says, I am grateful for the experience that expand my heart and my idea of what is possible when you create with love. Beautifully said. Good evening, Pierre. And hello, Juan. Gerbut says, waking up at 4 a.m. briefly has the additional benefit of helping stimulate lucid dreaming. Oh, interesting. I've been having a lot of that lately. It's often when a dream is shitty and I'm like, this is like, this, nothing's working here. Wait, is this a dream? And then yeah, I'm dreaming. I usually don't stay up. I don't stay in the dream that long after I'm aware that I'm dreaming. But sometimes. Anyone else want to share something that they are feeling grateful for? I'm grateful that I'm getting my blood drawn today to get some levels checked. And I think I've mentioned this in the past, but I'm planning on getting a minor hair transplant this week. I am getting some hair from the back of my head cut out and put in this little robin's egg that's in the back of my head. As someone with nipple rings, permanent eye makeup, and frequently dyed hair, I realized that cosmetic surgeries is not outside of my values and systems. I have always enjoyed my body as a canvas, and so I'm not doing it out of shame, but more of like, I think I will continue to have more fun with my appearance if I don't have like second guessing thoughts about, does that look weird with that Friar Tuck hair thing? Now, if I was meditating at 2 hours every day at 2 a.m., would I laugh at this type of vanity? Perhaps, but I'm doing it without shame and with more excitement. Like, I'm looking forward to possibly, like growing my hair out long one last time before I get put in the earth. And I don't think I would do it if it was, with a bald patch in the middle. I think I would. I don't think I would do it. I knew this. Anyone ever had a dream that you were meditating? Or anyone had a dream was you meditated? Vesper says, grateful for Pink Heart family for taking me in while my house is being renovated. Oh, lovely. I'm grateful to hear that the Pink Heart presence at Unscrews this weekend. Sounds like it went awesome and that lots of people had a good time. Vesper says, as someone who feels more like herself when she doesn't have horizontal wrinkles on her forehead, I feel you. Yeah, I've had the wrinkle here treated. It used to be a really pronounced line right there. And I mean, I haven't like made it so that I can't make expressions. My eyebrows still work, but I don't have the deep crease there that made me feel like I felt like my standing face looked really angry, and I'm happier not that way. I found myself wearing glasses more often because it covered the line, and I can see better, but I don't need them. Gerbot is grateful for fun, productive, slightly wet weekend in Empire with friends, and then going to a sweet show in Oakland on Sunday. Man, adventure weekend. That's awesome. Heinun is grateful for orthotics that help my feet feel comfortable as I run. Vesper says, I love my crow's feet, though. They're a reminder of all the smiles I've shared in life. Me too. Like, I'm not anti-wrinkle. I just didn't like the ones that made me look like I was unhappy when I certainly do not feel unhappy. Cool that you're an Empire. Oh, did you get caught up in that? I heard that they were like a lot of the storage units in Empire were getting hassled. So hopefully that was not what you got caught up in. What else am I grateful for? Oh, I'm grateful that this weekend, this Saturday, is Lisa's birthday. And I've got a few gifts for her. I think today I'm going to try to buy a rose bush because she loves roses. And I mean, I could get her roses, but I think having a rose bush here, it's a little late to be planting them, but in San Diego, it's still doable. I did some online research, and so I'm going to go hit a nursery on my way to my doctor's appointment. I think I have time. Yeah, I'm going to go to the nursery right now. And grateful that I get to celebrate the most wonderful woman I've ever met for her birthday. I need to clarify. Has anyone ever meditated and dreamt that they are meditating? Interesting. Not I. Well, I'm grateful that I'm feeling like I had no coffee today. And I guess I haven't had coffee for about a week. And I mean, I guess I had decaf a week ago. But, I don't feel quite so fuzzy-headed, which is how I feel for like 3 or 4 days after doing, being off coffee. And it's so hard because so I don't feel fuzzy today, but I also don't feel that, let's crank out the projects. So it's hard to keep off coffee, but maybe if I can just try to remember I can sleep better if I don't have coffee. And if I sleep better and earlier, then I can wake up and meditate and hit the gym. And deep down, I know that there is a deep contentment that I feel when I am following the practices that I know that are best for myself. So we'll see. Heinun is also grateful for nose strips. Nice. You know what I've been using? Not frequently, but occasionally. I bought those magnet strip things. So it's like you put magnet stickers in your nose, and then you put the thing on, it goes. I don't have a very clear sinuses. Like I definitely mouth breathe when I'm sleeping. Okay, enough about my nasal passages. Oh, Gerbot saying that yes, there was some drama there, but it didn't really affect us. But we might be moving to a new yard just across from Fly Ranch. We went up and scoped it out this weekend. Cool. Heinen says, I love the idea of the rose bush because you could cut off a few every so often and give them to her. And like, I specifically researched and found a fragrant one. Lots of roses don't have the deep, deep scent, you know. And like, there's a rose garden about half a block or a block from where we live that we walk up there and just go smell the roses. And she really enjoys roses. I know. I know Tara does too. So don't tell her. Shh. She's actually. We went to the retreat together, and then, but we went separately because she went on to. She's at a recording studio right now, working on her album. So I've got a few days by myself. Man, it's something to be like. I've never had a life partner. I've never had my life so intertwined with someone where like I get home and it's like, oh, I miss her already. It's not as, I don't like being home as much when she's not here. It's kind of sweet, and it's kind of a nice ache just knowing that I miss her. High Noon, I will check out what brand it is and I'll share another day. Wherever you are, would you join me in a hug? Give yourself a big old squeeze, or squeeze the person that you're with, and appreciate this physical body, appreciate these connections that we're having right now, appreciate the shared gratitude and the amplified gratitude and all these reminders of avoiding comparison and recognizing the growth possibilities, and recognizing maybe the hard work ahead of us, and trying to be grateful for what is, and also grateful for what could be without attachment. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and everyone here, thanks for being here today. I love you. That sounded kind of squeaky and like performative, but no. I love you. Lakia, good morning. Hello. And Sherry, good morning. Good morning. Sherry is grateful for being rested, had sexy dreams that usually an indicator that I slept well. Grateful for a sunny and warm, rainy morning in Hawaii. Rainy morning in Hawaii, following up sexy dreams. Sounds pretty great. As I said, my plan right now is to be at the doctor's Thursday morning, but it's possible that could move to tomorrow. I'll know that soon, though. Right now, I plan to be here tomorrow. So wish me luck. Gonna go buy a rose bush if I can, and get some blood drawn, and try to stay off coffee. Oh, love you. Good to be back. Good to